Okay, so good afternoon class. Ang topic natin ngayon is Chapter 3, Research Methodology. So sa Research Methodology, meron lang akong 6 na parts na hinihingi. So we have Research Design, Local of the Study, Population and Sample of the Study, Research Instrument, Data Gathering, and Statistical Treatment. So pag nagsusulat kayo ng Chapter 3, make sure na lagi tayong merong introductory statement kagaya nito. Okay, now. So, pag-usapan muna natin yung first part ng ating Chapter 3. So, ang first part ng ating Chapter 3 is yung tinatawag natin na Research Design. Okay, now. Huwag na lang intindihin yung maingay sa likod, no? So, dito sa Research Design, kasi diba, sa Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 ng research natin, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito is bakit at paano pinag-aaralan natin yung research. Pero sa Chapter 3 naman, sasagutin naman natin kung paano natin gagawin yung research. So, dito mapapaloob yung tinatawag natin na Research Design. So, ano nga bang ibig sabihin pag Research Design? Ang Research Design is defined as the rational and coherent overall strategy that the researcher uses to incorporate all the vital components of the research study. O, diba, pag binasa natin yung definition, medyo parang OA, parang nosebleed. Kasi nakalagay, rational and coherent overall strategy to incorporate all the vital components. Pero sa madaling salita mga anak, yung research design, parang ito yung pinaka-blueprint o game plan ng ating research. Parang halimbawa, kapag magtatayo ka ng bahay, hindi ka naman pwedeng basta nalang bumili ng semento o kaya hollow blocks, di ba? Yung kumbaga, hindi pwedeng walang plano. So, dapat alam mo kung saan yung pinto, saan yung kwarto, o saan yung banyo. So, ganun din yung research design. Ito yung gabay natin para hindi ka mawala simula umpisa hanggang dulo. So, kumbaga, yung research design, this is our blueprint ng ating research. So, hindi ito yung Pikachu, yung flowers. No. So, sa research design natin, in quantitative research design, meron tayong mga klase. So, we have types of quantitative research design. So, sa ngayon, meron tayong tinatawag na non-experimental and experimental research design. So, isa-isahin na natin, ha. Siguro naman yung term na non-experimental na intindihan na natin. Pag sinabi natin non-experimental, ibig sabihin, wala tayong binabago o kaya wala tayong pinapakialaman doon sa mga subject natin. Kung ano yung natural na nangyayari, yun lang yung obserbahan natin at yun lang yung isusulat natin. Yun yung, kumbaga, itatala natin. For the experimental naman, natural, meron tayong kumbaga manipulation na magaganap. Merong babaguhin, merong susubukan na galawin. Yun yung tinatawag natin na intervention or treatment. So sige ngayon, focus muna tayo sa tinatawag na natin na non-experimental research design. Sa non-experimental research design, maraming klase mga anak ha. Pero for now, we're going to focus on those basic research design na meron tayo under quantitative research design. Okay. So, meron tayong descriptive, correlational, and causal comparative. So, unahin na natin. Now, when we say descriptive research, ang sabi dito, it is designed that exploratory in nature. The purpose of descriptive research is basically to answer questions such as who, what, where, when, and how much. So, this design is best used when the main objective of the study is just to observe and report a certain phenomenon as it is happening. So, ang sabi nga natin, ang layunin nito is to describe. Kumbaga, in Tagalog, maglalarawan ka. So, ang sinasagot nito is kung who, what, where, and how. So, example tayo para mas maintindihan na again, when we're talking about descriptive research is your focus or the main goal of this design is just to describe, paglalarawan. Example, challenges of grade 11 students in online distance learning modality. So, ang unang tanong dito, nag-relate ba tong research na to? Tingnan ba natin, may relationship bang nagaganap? Meron bang differences na hinahanap? So, kung wala, kasi ang sabi dito, we just want to know the challenges of grade 11 students. So, wala lang sir, gusto lang naming malaman ano yung mga challenges ng grade 11 students. So, ang target niya is just to describe those challenges. Ibig sabihin, your research design is descriptive research. So, So, hopefully, hindi ako masyadong mabilis, ha? Another example, leadership capacities of students, government officers as perceived by the students. So, dito kung mapapansin ninyo, dinidescribe lang. Yun lang yung target ng research. We just want to describe kung ano yung capacities ng leaders o yung leadership capacities ng ating mga halimbawa SSLG officers as perceived by the students. So, wala tayong nare-relate. Di natin nare-relate yung kapasidad ng estudyante sa grades nila. Basta gusto lang natin malaman, sir, ano ang kanilang leadership capacities. So, nagdi-describe lang. So, that is under research, descriptive research design. Another example, level of reading comprehension skills of grade 12 students in practical research 2. O pag dito, ano bang tinatarget nila? Diba ang target lang nila is to know the level of reading comprehension skills. So wala ditong nire-relate, di natin nire-relate yung reading comprehension skills nila sa grades. Wala din tayong nire-relate dito or dinidifferentiate natin yung reading comprehensions ng TVL at ng ACAD. Basta we want to describe lang, sir, anong level yung reading comprehensions ng grade 12 students sa practical research 2. So if your research is about describing, paglalarawan, ibig sabihin, ang research design na gagamitin ay descriptive research. Again, ang descriptive research is under non-experimental research design. Ibig sabihin, walang manipulation dapat na nagaganap. Okay, let's proceed. Yung pangalawa is yung tinatawag natin na correlational research design. So dito, ang hinahanap natin is yung connection, yung relationship. Kaya nga sabi dito, association nung dalawang bagay. So, for example, kapag tumaas yung isa, tataas din ba yung isa? Kapag bumaba yung isa, bababa din ba yung isa? So, ibig sabihin yung associations, yung relationships nung dalawang mga variables or two or more variables yung hinahanap natin. Again, this is under non-experimental research design, meaning mga anak, dapat walang manipulation na nagaganap. You just want to know the relationship of two variables. Let's have an example. Ito, pag binasa natin, the relationship between study habits and academic performance among STEM students. So, pag binasa natin mga anak, hindi naman tayo biglang nagde-describe lang. Hindi din tayo nagko-compare. Ang gusto nating malaman is kung may connection daw ba yung study habits dun sa naging academic performance ng STEM students. So, if your study is about correlations or relationships, ibig sabihin your research design is correlational research design. Again, this is under non-experimental. So, as long as walang manipulation ng ating mga variables and it is about relationship, our research design is correlational research design. Sana naiintindihan. Let's proceed. Exploring the correlation between social media usage and critical thinking skills in young students. So, dito napansin niyo yung keyword natin, correlation. So, as long as we are pertaining to the associations of the variable social media usage and critical thinking skills, wala naman ditong differences na hinahanap. Ang hinahanap natin is the associations of two variables. Ibig sabihin, ang research design natin ay correlational research design. And also ito, yung term pa lang na link between financial literacy and spending habits. Wala namang differentiation na hinahanap. Hindi rin naman description lang yung hinahanap natin. We just want to know the associations din ng dalawang variables. So this is also an example of correlational research design. Ito rin, kung titingnan nyo, relationship between creative process, engagement, and artistic output quality in arts and design students. So, obvious na this is under correlational research design. Now, may pangatlo tayo is yung tinatawag natin na causal comparative. So, ang causal comparative, ang sabi dito, the objective of the study is to measure a cause from a pre-existing effect. Also, it is the design. The researcher has no control over the variables in the research study. So, yung correlation o yung causal comparative, this is also known as ex post facto. Dahil yung ganitong uri ng research, tapos na o nangyari na. So, kumbaga, meron ng cause. So, bago pa man simulan ng research yung pag-aaral, meron nang nangyari. So, yung tinitingnan lang ng research nito is yung effect nung dalawa o higit pang grupo. So, pwedeng 1 or 2 groups. Kasi nga, kaya nga ito tinawag na expose factor, galing to sa word na after effect. So, kaya nga expose factor. So, example, gusto nating malaman yung epekto ng pagiging working students dun sa grades ng mga estudyante. So, syempre, hindi naman natin pipilitin yung mga bata na, magtrabaho ka para lang makapag-experiment tayo. So, kaya ang hinahanap na lang natin dito is yung kasalukuyang mga nagtatrabaho, then i-compare natin yung grades nila sa mga nagtatrabaho at sa hindi nagtatrabaho. So, kumbaga dito, may pre-existing effect na pinag-uusapan. Minsan kasi is nako-compare ito sa experimental research design. Kasi nagko-compare. Pero again, ang difference ng causal comparative sa ating experimental research design, ang causal comparative ay meron ng pre-existing data na. Naiintindihan po ba? Example, gusto natin ikumpara yung epekto sa grades ng mga estudyanteng broken family at dun sa mga buo yung family. Siyempre, hindi naman natin pwedeng paghiwalay yung mga magulang ng mga subject natin. So, kumbaga, hahanap tayo ng mga broken family na sa existing na yung data and then we're going to compare it doon sa mga buoang family. So, again, for the research design under quantitative research, non-experimental research design, meron tayong causal comparative, correlational descriptive research design, and descriptive research design. So, hanggang dito muna para sa non-experimental research design. So, hopefully naintindihan. So, mag-aral ng mabuti mga anak.